Okay, so when we're combining like terms, we've got three different types of rule or three rules that we're going to do, or three steps we're going to follow. So the first step is we're going to identify all of the terms in the problem. Step two is we're going to sort the terms into like terms into columns. And then step three is we're going to add the terms together to create a simplified expression. So first step that we're going to do is anywhere that I see a plus or minus sign, I'm going to do step one. We're going to identify the terms by just going through, and anywhere that I see a plus or minus sign, I'm going to draw a line. And that's letting me know that I have a new term. So in this one, you see that I've gotten these lines drawn here. And if you look, I've got one, two, three, four, five terms. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sort those into columns. So I'm going to sort the terms into like term columns. I'm going to start with that 5B. And actually what I'll do is let's go ahead. We've got 5B. That's one of them. Okay, my next one, -6 is not like 5b because it does not have the same variable. So I'm going to go ahead and put my -6 there. I know these are looking weird. Okay, my +10 is not like 5b, but it is like -6. So I'm going to put my 10 here. Okay. My -b, remember that's -1b. If you're confused, you can put a 1 in front of it. That's going to be like my 5b because it has the same variable. So I'm going to put -1b here. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I do is I do struggle if I don't put that one there because I'll forget that I'm adding that term together. So I make sure to include that there. And the last term is I was going to say 156, but it's not. It is 100, or it is 15b. I was going there again. Okay. So then I'm going for step three and I'm going to add my terms together. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to turn the mouse back on just because it's a little easier to see. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a text box just because it'll be easier to see. So what I've got here is I have got 5 plus -1 is 4. 4 plus 15 is going to be 19b. Okay. And then I've got then for my other one, I'm going to have 6 plus 10, which is going to be 4. So when I look at this, I've got 19b and I've got 4. And I'm just going to say, okay, well, now that I have this done, I'm going to go ahead and insert, and we're saying, okay, with those, I'm just going to rewrite it as 19b, okay, plus 4. And that's my simplified expression. So again, what I did is I identified all the terms, and I do that by going through and drawing a line because that way I know that those that I've separated, I've got the signs that they are, because like I see where I drew that line, that means that this whole term is -6. That means this term is 10. That means this term is -1b. This term is +15b. So then I go and I sorted them into the columns. So you can see here I did all of my b's in one column, all of my constants in another column. Once I did that, I combined them and I just put those two terms that I had left over together to create a simplified expression. Let's go ahead and I'm going to do the next one now. Okay. So in this one, again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to draw a line. And I think what I'll probably do is a text box for each one. But so I'm going to go ahead and draw my lines here. Okay. Because I'm doing step one and I'm saying, okay, I need to go ahead and figure out how many terms there are. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms that I'm going to sort. I'm going to go ahead and this time just make it easier and I'm going to put them into tables. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and start. And I've got my first term here is going to be B. So I'm going to start with B. Okay. So that's my first term. Okay, and it's -b, so it's going to be -1b. Okay, well, my next term is +5. Well, that's not like -b, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to have another term here, and I'm going to go ahead and sort this so that we can see it a little better. Okay, so now I'm going to have +5. Okay, I have -6b. Well, that's going to go in here with b, so I'm going to have -6b. Okay. I've got +23. Well, that goes in here with the 5. So I'm going to go ahead and put +23. Okay. Then I've got +6, which goes in that column right there. So I'm going to do +6. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to combine my terms and so that I can go ahead and write a simplified equation. So I do -1 plus -6, and I'm going to have -7b. Okay. I do 5 plus 23. I'm going to have 28. 28 plus 6 is going to equal 34. So that's positive 34. And then you can go ahead and we write our simplified expression just by using those two terms that I have left over. So you could write it two ways. You could either write it as -7b plus 34, or you can write it as 34 minus 7b. Because it's an addition or subtraction problem, the thing that doesn't matter, it doesn't matter which order you have it, as long as you have the right sign and right operations with those. And that's how you combine like terms. Go ahead and continue and finish the Pear Deck. If you were not here yesterday, that last link right here, this link here for like terms practice, you may have finished that yesterday if you were not at school, because that was part of yesterday's Pear Deck. If you did not finish it, you go ahead and click on it once you have finished the rest of the presentation so that you can complete it today.